Ray. I forgot Infection thought it was funny to raid me this morning. So it's like not happening? Okay. The way my phone screen looks is strange. I'm glad to know that that's not how the actual stream looks. Stream looks horrible. That's nice. Alright, don't do that. Maybe it doesn't look horrible. Maybe it's because I'm watching in 480p. Well, I swear I had things to say, but, you know, then you go live and you don't remember what you're gonna say. Where do I start? I went on a walk and I was thinking of like all sorts of things to say that were gonna be like super inspirational or something. And then I got back and I was like, well, I'm gonna shower before I stream. And then I showered and it like cooled off and no longer had thoughts in my head. And Dad, now we're here. Probably woke up at about 5 p.m. today again. Matthias posted to his motorsports channel at 3:19 p.m. Did you hear that Kyle Busch won't be in the Coca-Cola 600 due to being hospitalized? I just responded, no, with 3 question marks? Went down to dinner. Because I was told that, like, whole family's over. And I, like, leaned over to Mom and was like, I hope you didn't want to pick Kyle Busch this weekend because he's, chilling at the hospital. Or something like that. Like, I don't know, probably at 6. Brother just looks up, brother-in-law just looks up across the table and is like, Kyle Busch died? And I'm like, I mean, he was in the hospital, so it was like, maybe, but you know, we live in a world where who knows what the hell gets posts on Facebook. So I opened the NASCAR app and it was just like, no. Yeah, he did. I think that was the first thing I did. I don't remember. Richard, one of my good old friends who actually watches NASCAR, messaged me about it. I won't go back and check whatever he said. Not Kyle Busch. Matthias posted the article. He said he's at a loss. He said he was just going to see if there was an article about the hospitalization and saw that instead. And I think the biggest sign that this is like huge news about a legendary driver is that my Discord general chat started talking about it with no lead up or anything. Just kind of happened. I opened Discord to all 3 of those conversations. Turning out they happened. So that's been my day. It's 8:30. Is it dark out? It's getting dark out. Doesn't look that dark out. It's still pretty light out. Other trains of thoughts I had? I opened Twitter for a moment. I Was about to say I don't even remember why, but no, it's actually a picture of Bochi that Duck posted for some reason. I'm sorry, we're just kind of looking at wood right now. I can let you look at, here we go. Did I crush the poor boy? Oh, there he is. I opened Twitter because of art post. And, like, clicked on the stuff all trending on the side because it was, like, Kyle Busch, something else. A disease that may or may not have been trending because everyone was like, maybe it was this. I remember the third thing, but it was probably related. One of the videos which I would like to click on and just play for you guys, but I don't know if the NASCAR police will attack me for it being on stream. Can I just play it? Like, who cares? Did I open that tweet? You never... No? So, Kyle Busch, you know, anybody who knows him probably knows him as the driver of the 18 car, above all else, which we'll get to in a few. He hasn't driven the 18 car since 2022 or so? 23, 24, 25, 26? Maybe 20... I don't know, some of those years. He's been in the RCR number 8. It's been a rough ride. The first year he went there, he won 3 races. But since then, he went from having like 19 straight seasons with a win, which is like the most all time. And then he went 1 season without a win and another season without a win. And everyone thought that those were the dark times for the Kyle Busch fans. Every time you'd think that maybe he was going to start running better and things would look up, it'd be another few more months of, no, not running too great. He did win a truck race less than 7 days ago. Last Friday, so 6 days ago, he won the truck race at Dover in the number 7 HendrickCars.com Chevy Silverado. This isn't that truck. This is Kyle Larson's truck, but it basically looked just like that. He took a truck that looked roughly like that to victory lane. And while I was on Twitter, I was reminded... Well, I'll have to clean that up later. Cool. Whoever was interviewing asked him the question, something about why does this never get old? And the first words out of his mouth were, you never know when it'll be your last one. I may have misquoted that. I would love to have just played the clip, but... And I mean, like... Whatever if they want the money that this YouTube video's not making, or something. But I don't know if I'm gonna get shot more than that. So I didn't want to go play the video on stream. Because that would have obviously been the easiest way to relay the quote or something. I don't remember half the other things I was going to say. I was going to say something about, like, I don't even know if I was the biggest Kyle Busch fan in the world. I definitely wasn't the biggest Kyle Busch hater in the world either. I was probably somewhere on the good side of the middle, which may be hard to believe with where the rest of the stream will be going. I was gonna be like something about not sending the love to me, sending it to all of his fans and his family. Condolences to his family, I believe. It said he's survived by both of his parents, his wife, and both of his kids, as well as his brother. Another thing was talking about the fact that unfortunately now neither of the Bush brothers have gotten to end their NASCAR careers on their own terms. Kurt Busch still alive and probably mostly well, but his career was ended by a concussion back in 22, 23? Something like that. You heard about Bush? We're sorry. It's okay. Just send your condolences to the Bush family. I'll probably be fine. Say banquet? Oops. Sorry, I didn't mean to shadow over the entire car. I also was thinking about, like, the idea of starting stream, but like, this is the hardest stream I've ever to do, and I was like, well, it might not be false, because I don't think I've done too many streams that were hard. I also could have very easily just not been here. Nobody's here looking to me for consoling about the news. I'm definitely not the most professional speaker or anything, so I'm not here to give a speech about how incredible he was. If you want to know how incredible he was, well, I would say he would have been okay with letting you know that himself, but fortunately, he can't do that anymore. Alright, I don't really know what I'm talking about, so let's just go into the main reason I'm here. I had the random thought about, like, I could play a bunch of NASCAR video games and drive as Kyle Busch, and then I was like, I don't know if that seems... It'd probably end up disrespectful when I raced his car nowhere near as good as he did and just made a mess. So then we went with option number 2. I'm just here to be here for a few minutes, say some words, thoughts and prayers to his family, his brother, his parents, his wife, his children, all of his team members, all of his friends, drivers he's worked with, drivers that have driven for him, crew members, the whole NASCAR community, anybody else who was ever affected by him. I think at some point I was also gonna say, like, if I could have turned ads off entirely for this stream, ads and subscription stuff, if you could, like, turn that off for a stream, then whatever, I could have, would have. I tuned into Michael Brooks's stream. I thought he was maybe doing a stream about Kyle Busch, but no, I think he just already had a stream planned, and it was like, well, don't want to just not show up and let the NASCAR fans suffer alone, so he carried on to continue his stream that he presumably had planned. I believe his idea was that he had, like, a link or was accepting donations for Victory Junction, which is as the logo up here says, Victory Junction is a camp for kids founded in honor of Adam Petty, who was the son of Richard Petty. He died in an actual race car, so that was a while ago. But I don't know if he wanted to make a camp for kids and they did it for him, or if they just did it for him unrelated. But that's been going on for a while. So he was sending people to donate to victoryjunction.org. The other thing I was thinking about is that Samantha and Kyle Busch have the Bundle of Joy Fund. So if you want to send money today to anyone, you can probably send it to someone more needy or deserving than whatever. I'm sure you can find somewhere better to send it today. Or any other day, but I'm not gonna tell you to, like, never. Whatever. This isn't about me. I think this is the earliest Kyle Busch car I have. Which I feel like there was a while where I didn't even think I had a Kyle Busch car. But that kind of wasn't true because I have this one. This is the car of tomorrow. Probably... This is 2008 Camry on the bottom. Mars 2008. This is roughly a 2008 car. I don't know why I said roughly. That's what it says. Car of tomorrow. This is the classic scheme. If you've ever seen a Kyle Busch car, it's probably been a yellow M&M scheme. From there we have... I think this is the second oldest one I have. This is the Kyle Busch M&M's Improve America red, white, and blue patriotic scheme. I feel like I've seen footage of this car once before. He was leading the Coca-Cola 600 or some other race when the camera cords came down, attacked, and put a hole in the front of his car, so that was unfortunate. Moving on from that, a 2014 car. This is Peanut Butter. The Kyle Busch Peanut Butter M&M's. Number 18 Toyota Camry. Next in line, this one from 2014. 19. Oh, sorry. Wrong Interstate Batteries car. Silly me. Here's another 2014 car. This is one of the Interstate Batteries Toyota Camry schemes he ran. Meow. I'm sorry, Slayer. I don't exactly have the ability to. I mean, I could, like, if you really want me to, but I'll owe you for next stream. Or I can show you the cat who is tried to move across my bed, and I said, no, not right now. There, I hope that counts. I believe, I'm not 100% sure. What's his name on the front of it? This has, like, a kind of different looking windshield banner, because I thought this was supposed to be a, like, 4th of July Memorial Day weekend car. And usually they bring red, white, and blue paint schemes to those races, which I will get to show you a red, white, and blue one in a few, I think. Well, never mind. I just showed you a red, white, and blue one. Usually a lot of sponsors will bring red, white, and blue paint schemes on Memorial Day weekend or 4th of July weekend. And especially on the Coca-Cola 600 weekend, which I was streaming something while watching last year because I turned around and showed the moment of silence and got in a tiny bit of trouble with NASCAR for that. But I got to keep my video, so it's fine. If the year is correct on this one, This is about the same car that he very slowly got pushed and tipped over. And when they called him up on the radio and asked if he was fine, he said, "I'm just hanging around, having a good old time." My mom was here, and not in the other room. She would tell you that that's one of her favorite Kyle Busch memories. He had many classic quotes. One time they kept asking him how he was feeling or about the incident from the past week, and he said, "Everything's good, just looking forward to this weekend." He was a man of many quotes. I believe we're getting to 2015. This is one of my favorite Kyle Busch cars and M&M's products. The Crispy Camry. This was the paint scheme that he won his first championship in 2015 in. He actually went to Daytona in an Xfinity race, got into a crash that broke his leg and foot, and he missed like 10 weeks and came back and won the championship. Which a lot of people always said that's bullshit. He shouldn't have been in it, blah blah blah. But he raced the format, which had a points reset after 26 weeks, and he was in because he won a race. And he went on to win in the Crispy Camry. I always kind of wanted to own the specifically Homestead Race Run car, but I don't, and I imagine the prices will definitely not be going down after today, so sorry, I think that's too much making about me. I'm noticing the after image of the word Bush all over this box. So this is the Crispy Camry. This is one of my favorites. Because of the importance of it and stuff. I don't know if I was ever the biggest fan of M&M's in the first place, so I did also like this car. This is the car that the sponsor and paint scheme that he brought to the Indianapolis Brickyard a few years in a row, and he won the Brickyard 400 almost 3 years in a row. I do enjoy the Skittles car. I do enjoy Skittles from time to time. So this is another one of my favorites. 2015 Camry. I'm realizing now from the cars in my bed that I kind of lost one, but I guess it works out. Is this one next? This one's also a 2015 car. Another reason that drivers sometimes bring special paint schemes is October Breast Cancer Awareness Month. They'll have pinker cars or pink aspects to their cars. So here's your... I don't know if they actually sold pink M&Ms, but you can get a pink M&M's Camry. I think we have 2 copies of this car, because my mom used to get pink cars. But I think I took this one off of her shelf, so apparently I lost mine somewhere a little bit. But I guess it's not that important. There's a pink car. The yellow banner up here is because he was in the playoffs that year. I believe also the back of the car, the spoiler should be yellow. Maybe the splitter too. I don't know. I could take some of these cars out of the box to look at closer, but we'll see if we get there. 18. 2015. No 2016 cars here. Is this a 2016 car? 2017. We're on a 2017. Here's another classic Kyle Busch. Yellow. Regular M&M's paint scheme. I believe my aunt brought this back from a race she was at. And I was like, cool. And I think this is actually where I was convinced that this was my first regular Kyle Busch car. Because I got patriotic, peanut butter, crispy, Skittles, pink, other stuff. I thought this was my first yellow one, but then I remembered, no, the only Kyle Busch car I had was the little yellow car of tomorrow. But this is if you or anyone you know knows of Kyle Busch, there's a good chance this would be the first car that comes to mind. This haunted many of people's dreams and waking moments going to the race. Probably haunted many drivers in their rearview mirrors. Also brought many fans much joy, more importantly. This will be one of the most important paint schemes and sponsors and numbers in NASCAR history. Most important drivers and everything. This next car I find a little funny, because you would think if you ever listened to me, I may have mentioned how I really like race-winning cars. So I have this because there was another year where he drove the M&M's Caramel Camry, and it's this darker blue, navy blue kind of thing. And my mom bought this one here, and it came home for like probably a birthday or Christmas or something. And I spun it around, and I was like, Mom, why'd you buy me a car that won at Pocono? She got me a random car that won a race at Pocono, which it used to not have a win at. There was one race where I kind of wish if I had a random Kyle Busch Pocono win, it was that one. Because there was one year where I swear his shifter was broken in some way. But he got, admittedly, a little bit lucky that no cautions came out, because they kept saying, like, if a restart comes out, he's screwed. He was going to be in a lot of trouble if there was a restart, and he had to shift quickly through the gears to get to, like, 5th gear or something, or whatever, into the corner. But luckily, a caution never came out, and he drove his car with, like, a junk shifter all the way to victory lane. I'm not sure if I can show you the significance of Rowdy, but I can at least just tell you that that was his nickname. He was a little bit of a troublemaker from time to time, so they called him Rowdy. I thought at some point that maybe they would have put it on the name rail up here on his car, but I can't seem to find that on any of these. I don't know. Rowdy just felt like a more loving, generic thing to title my stream than just titling it Kyle Busch and being like, oh really, that's what this is about? I never would have guessed. Here is possibly one of the more significant cars I own, especially now. This is another Kyle Busch Race 1 diecast. As you can see by the fact it's covered in confetti. You look at the side and you're like, okay, it won an Auto Club Speedway. What does that mean? So, for anybody who's ever heard of NASCAR before, you've also probably, if you've heard of anyone, you've heard of Richard Petty, who is famous for having won 200 races in the Cup Series. The second most of all time was 105. He won almost double second place. And people always went blah blah blah. That'll never be matched. He's the greatest of all time, of course. Not a controversial statement. Maybe it is. I don't know. If you say it's a controversial statement, you're probably the asshole in the room. But anyway. So this was... I'm telling you this because this is Kyle Busch's 200th win in NASCAR. Not just meaning the Cup Series, but he has 100 races in the Xfinity Series. Well, I don't know. Maybe I should open he has over 100 races in the Xfinity Series, and when he got his 100th win, he was like, don't worry guys, I won't come back anymore. He came back a little bit and did win a few more. He said he wouldn't come back unless somebody asked him to. like a sponsor and a team owner wanted him to get in the car. So we got a few more than 100 wins in the Xfinity Series. Just last Friday, 6 days ago, he got his 69th win in the Truck Series. I would call it the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, but I'm not 100% sure. No, Camping World's gone. We're back to the Craftsman Truck Series, I think. He just got a 69th win in the race last week, in which I was saying they asked him, that was probably his 220th, 230th NASCAR win. And they asked him, not in victory lane, but on the front stretch, why do you keep coming back to do this? Or what do you get out of this? I don't remember what the question was. If I could pull up the clip, I'd just do it, but, you know, can I find the clip? Twitter. I'm hopefully not going to get in too much trouble with NASCAR. Here we go. If you guys can at least hear this.
Down here at the Monster Mile, and Michael Waltrip said earlier in the race that a confident Kyle Busch is a dangerous Kyle Busch. Your 69th victory in this series, your 5th right here. Why do these moments never get old, Kyle?
Because you never know when the last one is, you know. So I know all too well, unfortunately, with the Cup stuff, but you know, here with the truck stuff right now is it's awesome just to be a part of Spire Motorsports. Thanks to Jeff and Dan and Mr. H for the opportunity. HendrickCars.com. I'm sure it looked great out front leading the race, and it wasn't just Kyle Larson doing it. So you know, feels good to have another Kyle being able to do it and putting ourselves in victory lane. So love coming to Dover. Always one of my favorite places to race, and definitely some managing of the fuel there, managing of the tires there, and you know, it was an interesting, just kind of strategic battle, I guess, from the driver's seat. And, you know, thanks to all the fans. Appreciate everybody for being here at Dover and the Monster Mile for All-Star Weekend. We thank you, and hopefully we have another great O'Reilly race tomorrow and an even better Cup race on Sunday.
Yeah, as Brad Keselowski tweeted, absolute shock, very hard to process, hug your loved ones. That was one of the things I think I meant to say during the stream, was that remember to be kind. Even Formula One tweeted about him? Oh, it must be huge. NASCAR and Fox. Mark Martin's in shock and he's speechless. Keselowski, who's been his rival in the past, of course. Still a good human being. I don't know. The words he tweeted were whatever. We're not here to judge it. Denny Hamlin cannot comprehend this news. Just need to think of his family during this time. Prayers to his family. Well wishes to his family. Anyone else he knows? Friends, family. Hug your loved ones. Tell them you love them. I got a little bit distracted. We were eating Mark's Pizzeria out back, just enjoying some pizza. Brother looked up across the table and was like, "You died?" And I was like, like, if I hadn't read what Matthias said, I would have been, like, even more in shock, but just earlier, like, 2 hours, okay, like, 4 hours ago from what time it is now, I heard he was going to miss this weekend's race that he was scheduled to be in because he was hospitalized with an illness that they would not elaborate on at the moment. Hour later, enjoying pizza with my family, most of my family. That just got dropped, and I felt like for the next 30 minutes, I just wasn't even there. I was kind of a mix of reading something, and I heard like every 50th or 100th word. I was like, I know they were talking about nothing related to this, but they pretty quickly moved on, and somebody said the word conspiracy, and somebody said the word pyramid scheme, and then they were talking about Taylor Swift's wedding or my sister's wedding, a little bit of both, and I just was zoned out for like 30 minutes. And I was like, well, I thought about getting up to go around the table and hug everyone and say I love you, but I waited until they all got in the car to leave, and I hugged them all on the way out, so. Make sure to do that, not just today, but any day, anytime you can. Try to spread love. Try to be not patient, positive. I love you too, Chris. Yeah, I think I forgot about the fact that I wanted to just say that I love you guys. It's not even like the stream's done right now. I feel like I'm making it sound like I'm done right now, but I have a few more cars in my bed and other stuff to bring out. Because as I was saying, I thought about, like, I could do, like, a stream where I played as Kyle Busch, and then I was like, I feel like that's going to end up being disrespectful and an embarrassment when I don't win. And I crash half of his cars. And also watching Michael Marks today, he was saying that he didn't want to race as Kyle Busch today, but he was racing as his number in one of the races, just didn't want to race as him. And I was like, yeah, that would kind of be too soon. At some point you're like, it looks like I'm doing this to just be part of the conversation. I don't know what I'm here for. I just don't know. So I was trying to say, Richard Petty, he's the greatest. He has 200 wins in just the Cup Series. Kyle Busch on this day in 2019, this was his 200th overall win in NASCAR, including the Truck Series, the then Xfinity Series, and the Cup Series. He had won 200 races, like 60, 100. Okay, it might have been like 50, 150, kind of like that, in the different series. And everybody was always quick to dismiss, like, no, absolutely not. Of course, this is nowhere near as impressive as Richard Petty having 200 Cup Series wins. I always felt like the way that they make it sound that the competition was so much less back in the day when Richard Petty raced, and he was like either just that much better than everyone or he was in better cars. He won like, did he win 27 races in a season? Like 9 straight ones or something? He was just on another level, and the fact that they raced so many more races back then, I always felt like it was half fair to put Kyle Busch's 200 overall wins somewhere near that. they say, like, he's just going out there and beating up on the children by running the Xfinity races. That's probably what it felt like Richard Petty was doing sometimes. We really don't need to be here for debate. Nobody cares, but this is the 200th win. I think I can probably pull it up. Kyle Busch, 200th win. Kyle Busch, 200 wins. That's the car. 200 wins flag. Got the car. I didn't have this for a while, but I just one day saw that I think it was like an iRacer. I don't remember if it was Logan Clampett, but it was a name that I'd heard. I like just looked up on eBay and I saw a bunch of 1/64 scale diecasts, and there was like some pretty cool ones. I think I might have only gotten 2 cars from them, and the 2 I got were Kyle Busch's 200th win from Auto Club Speedway, and I also got Jimmy Johnson's Superman car from Auto Club Speedway. So that was kind of funny that I got 2 Auto Club Speedway cars. But this was the day that he got his 200th win in NASCAR. I thought it was huge. Other people probably dismissed it because it's across a bunch of different series. Whatever. He will undoubtedly not just be in the Hall of Fame, but will be one of the greatest drivers in the Hall of Fame in the next few years. His brother just got inducted last year. I think one of the worst things is, like, on one of the posts about him being hospitalized today, fans were probably positive, or at least one of them I read, like, one person's comment was like, hoping for a 2015 style comeback, because that was the year that he got surgery on his leg and foot from a crash. He came back and he won the championship. Unfortunately, I don't know if we're getting that. So that was a 2019 car I just skipped to. I accidentally forgot about the 2018 car. This is another race win. I would love to play the video. You know what? I will just have to hope that NASCAR won't hate me too much, because I am playing a little bit of footage of races. I'm sure it'll be relatively fine. This was one of the races of all time. I own that specific 42 car too. I found that at Walmart, as well as the car I just showed a moment ago. Thank you to the NASCAR YouTube channel for hopefully not shooting me and having videos posted. That is quintessential Kyle Busch. That was another one of the proud diecasts I own. It does look a little bit weird because it took me a while to realize, but a lot of these race wind diecasts before like 2022, 23, they got confetti on the top of the car, the trunk, the side, and stuff. And then, like, not on the windows, which, I don't know, is probably a different question to print confetti on. But, so it looks a little bit weird when it's, like, if you get some just caked in confetti on top and the back. And then the windows are, like, a different, completely different thing. But this is that diecast. This is why I mentioned that, like, we'd get to... So what, this is July 1st, it was 3 days before July 4th. So he had a patriotic paint scheme, probably, for the time of year it was. Skittles. It's one of the Kyle Busch races of all time. Which is, it was probably half so because of the call in the booth. Dale Jr. just screaming slide job and everyone loved it. As you guys can see, this random truck I'm showing is not Kyle Busch, and I'm not just trying to make up an excuse to show Martin Truex Jr. on stream. On the back there, that might be the best thing I can show you. There's Rowdy Energy, had an energy drink brand at some point. I don't know if I can find anything on the side of this to show it off. The little tiny logo on the front. The point of this one is that this is... He owned a truck team for a while. This is a Kyle Busch Motorsports truck. The 51. He had the 54. He had the 4. He and Brad Keselowski, and I guess Kevin Harvick at the past, and probably some others, and Dale Jr. now, are huge reasons that a lot of the drivers that are currently in the Cup Series are in the Cup Series. Kyle Busch had William Byron in his trucks before anyone else. He had Eric Jones. He had Christopher Bell in his trucks before anyone else. John Hunter Nemechek made it to the Cup Series, came back down. He ran trucks for him. If you went through the Cup Series, you could probably link a lot of them back to Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski. They drove their trucks for some time. Eric Jones is another one of my favorites. He got the start there. Christopher Bell's in the Toyota system. Eric Jones is in a Toyota in the Cup Series. William Byron's the current driver of the number 24. But there's just a lot of people who have probably a lot of... may or may not have a lot of their career to thank for Kyle Busch getting him into some of the best trucks in the series. Not to say that it was like all him, but if you ever see a truck that looks like this with the 51 on the side, it probably helped to get him to his 69 wins. Here is I don't know why this car looks so glittery, but like, alright. This is yet another M&M's car. Fudge Brownie. It's a Walmart pickup from 21 or so. So it's got a giant hood in the front of it because that's funny and how it used to work. Light purple. I still don't know why it's so sparkly, but it sure is. Just yet another brand of M&M's that you may have never even heard of. But they ran it on a car for the week. Of course, we might be going downhill. Sorry to so jarringly change you up to... Unfortunately, M&M's left after 22, and they couldn't find another sponsor big enough to pay the amount of money that required for the talent that was Kyle Busch. So he ended up going to RCR. Maybe taking less, something. There was other reasons. It was probably a weird split up, but he drove the 8 car. In 2023, he won 3 races. 3? 2 or 3? Hopefully this is the year they... Oh, actually, there you go. Can you see that? Or is this very hard to see? I imagine you can see it, but I'm trying to give you like as close of a look as I can. It says Rowdy on the name rail. This is his nickname, his branding. He had an energy drink called that, some other stuff.
Are you taking pictures of everything you own, Vince? Yes.
No, I'm doing an entire video. Do you want to say anything? You want to confirm for everybody that no, I'm just hanging around having a good old time is your favorite part?
I miss him already. And I guess we don't have to worry about what he's going to do next year.
We get to worry about who you're going to put in the 8 car. Are they going to drop the number 8?
Put love in there, right?
I don't know how... I feel like the 8 car is not that significant to them. So I think maybe they could just replace it, put somebody in the 33, another even more iconic, the 33 or the 31, which is a more iconic.
That's fine. I don't think they should ever use the 18 again. To me, that's not good.
I mean, it was always probably a little bit weird that they got rid of it, maybe, but like now that this has all happened and we don't have the 18 right now.
Get rid of it too and abstain.
Here's your... Probably go downstairs in a bit and get more water. Here's the... This is not his last Cup Series win, but this is one of the... Can I find the year on this? 2023. Okay, so 2023 was the year that he last won races in the Cup Series. So it's been probably about 3 years since then. He won this race at Talladega. It was one of the... When he moved to RCR, it looked incredible. He won 3 races. He was pretty good. And then I think I heard somebody saying that, like, in an interview, somebody said, like, yeah, then they found out we were cheating. Fortunately, they've had a few years of not as good. But this is the one of 4 Kyle Busch wins I own. So that's a grand total of 4 out of like 230. Don't own a single Kyle Busch truck win. Also not pictured at all today is that he used to drive the 5 for Hendrick Motorsports. We had the Lowe's paint scheme on his car, and then he had like Kellogg's Corn Flakes. I also... Does this work? No? I'll have to just judge based on the fact that I can see myself on stream. I got one of my Kyle Busch shirts on. I took a shower and put it on. Creepy M&M on the back of the car. I pulled all my random Kyle Busch shirts out of the closet. Here's another, like... This one probably came from a thrift store. I just found it and I was like, sure, why not? At least I'm assuming this is Kyle Busch. Joey Logano, Home Depot, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch. Awesome. Kyle Busch Interstate batteries, very green. Back of it, Team Interstate, 11, 18, 20. This might be... I don't know if there's any of the cars I own. Probably not. Kyle Busch shirt. Kyle Busch shirt. Remember that part at the beginning of the stream when I said that I wasn't like the hugest fan ever? And then I was like, we'll have to see if you guys believe me. you probably see the problem. It just kind of happened. I don't know. A lot of these were probably that I just like found them at Walmart and it was like, okay, I like those. That's fun. Dear God, it sure looks like I wore these shirts a lot. The armpits are not looking great. Oh, here's the last one. An actual 8 car. I did get an RCR shirt. 75th anniversary from a few years ago. Kyle Busch. You can see it again. Rowdy. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. You can kind of read it. Like, I imagine you can read it, but then I'm like, I wish I could make you be able to read it a little bit more, is basically what I've been doing. I don't know if it's weird to bring up either of these two, but if there was any other driver that it was okay to bring up on this stream, I'd say it's Kurt Busch. He's a brother that I've mentioned. The NASCAR fans will keep him and his thoughts, their thoughts. He also had his time. I don't know if you can exactly read that the name rail supposedly says outlaw on it. One of the best things that I read a few minutes ago that I was reminded about from Kurt is slightly older. I want to say like less than 5 years, but I could be wrong. They raced in the Cup Series together for most of their careers. And I read and remembered earlier that basically what Kurt said was, like, he won a championship. He won a championship in the Cup Series, like, maybe before Kyle even got there. And I'm pretty sure he said in an interview, "You guys think I'm good? Wait until you meet my little brother." And then he got to the Cup Series and everyone was like, oh shit, he's right. Everyone realized he meant it. Yeah, both of the family members had a lot of their moments of, ooh, you shouldn't have done that. That was pretty rude. Kind of an ass move, but they were pretty damn good and had their comebacks and moments where fans turned around, started to like him again. The only other car I think I might have around here is another Kyle Busch car. The only other loose one we got around here. That one doesn't even say Rowdy on it. Weird. This is a 24 car, maybe? Well, it's a 2024 calendar, but it could be from 2023 season. I don't know. This is from this thing that I might show off on stream at some point. I got the 2024 and 2025 one of these. The 8 car on the front, Bush. Another red, white, and blue car that may or may not have been ran on a patriotic weekend. I'm glad I didn't upset my cat too much when I pulled this box off the shelf. Not allowed to acknowledge the fact that the Ducks car is in this box, so don't ask. I pulled out this binder because I was going to go through and see if I found any Kyle Busch cards to look at. You're thinking right now, those are basketball players? What do you mean Kyle Busch cards? We'll find some. Just don't lock eyes with any of the cards that have nothing to do with Kyle Busch. There's Kurt Busch from 2014. There's a Kyle Busch card. Oh, we'll give half honor to Austin Dillon, because Austin Dillon's apparently the one that got Kyle Busch to come over to RCR. I hear it wasn't RCR that called him, but like Kyle Busch called him and said, "You want to come and drive for my dad? Not my dad, my grandpa? Family team?" So this is neat. Or something like that. I don't know. Unfortunately, the relationship has been very rocky. I wish I could show these better, because this is another... I forgot about Darrell Wallace Jr. There's KBM there on the shirt, if you can see. That's Kyle Busch Motorsports, his truck team. Kyle and Kurt Busch headliners. I don't know exactly what the deal with this one is, but I got 2 of these and one's purple. Kyle Busch Cup contender. I don't know what the significance of one being purple is, but I guess that's cool for me. I'll probably come in there and sit with you in a few, but not done yet. Kyle Busch's car doing a pit stop on a card. That's fun, right? Number 18 M&M's Toyota. There's another Kyle and Kurt, luckily sitting next to each other. I had some taste when I was organizing this book randomly, I guess. Kyle Busch's car, the same one that's on my shirt, as you can tell by the scary M&M on the back. Well, no, it was the same year though, I think. Because this is like actually what he drove. I feel like he drove a blank yellow one with the one M&M on it, and then they sold the car that had more M&Ms on it. Here's the back of the Kyle Busch pit stop car that I tried showing. Card. It shows Master getting out in the pits. There's his crew from back then. Whether they won a lot together, I don't know. Brad Keselowski is his rival for a lot of his career, but there's no such thing as rivals anymore. Some more Kyle Busch cards. This is the year of the crispy Camry, the light green. He had to earn the rest of the M&Ms, and I'm sure he did. There's Kyle Busch doing a burnout. This is a pretty neat card. It's not even an actual rectangle. I don't know why, but... Lots of these drivers that we're not talking about are probably his friends or rivals, or there's his family. That's Samantha, and this is presumably Brexton, who's been in the news a lot because he's been winning more races than his dad has. Starting to give him advice in return. Kyle made the deal that when he went to RCR or something, he wanted to go somewhere that would be able to have a ride for Brexton later on in some capacity. He wanted to keep his truck team open so that they could race together one day. It's another one. That says KBM on the shirt. Toyota Let's Go Places. That was his truck team. Let's talk about Kyle Busch. Inherited the motorsports bug from his father. Yeah, his dad Tom, and I think his mom's name is Gay, G-A-Y-E. Another Kyle Busch card in here. Oh. Okay, we'll make another whatever. There's Greg Biffle because probably mentioned on a stream or something. He's another one of the ones we lost. Yeah, I might leave these cars up here. Oh, gotta unplug that for a second. Because I've had these cars up on top of my TV stand. Michael Annette died from, I don't remember what, at the end of last year. And then Greg Biffle, around Christmas time, wanted to go visit Cletus McFarland, but the plane went down. So we lost both of these at the end of last year. And I'll probably just find a way to stick Kyle Busch up here and leave him there for now. I might run out of space eventually, but all three of these cars are luckily the same size, so I might as well just leave them up there for the foreseeable future. There's a Kyle Busch card. I don't even know what that is. Is that the, like, M&M's filled chocolate bar? That was a product they made once, right? God, I forgot about that. Hendrick Motorsports page. Hendrick Motorsports. RCR. This is not Kyle Busch, but that's the car that he took over. Here's Kyle Busch and Kurt Busch. They did at least both get to run Toyotas at the same time during one point in their career. They were technically, they weren't teammates on the same team, but they were Toyota teammates. Kyle Busch, this is the next gen car where the number got slid forward. And it looks, anyway. Elite Series. Kyle Busch. Kurt Busch. I was thinking the other day about how if I did another stream like the me playing Watkins Glen in every game I own, I'd probably do a Bristol stream. And Bristol was one of Kyle Busch's best tracks. So maybe by the time I do that, it'll be slightly less awkward to sit there and play as Kyle Busch in all of them, or as many as possible. Maybe by the time I get around to that, we'll pick Kyle Busch or something that seems as close to Kyle Busch as possible in most of the games. Or not. Oh, that's not Kyle Busch. These are IndyCar cards now. Well, I guess that's all that's in there. Check these boxes really quick, see if I find anything. Nope, 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 nope. This is recent enough, so I'll probably be driving the 8 car if there's any of them in here. I'm either blind, dumb, or there wasn't a single Kyle Busch card in that pack. Which wouldn't sound crazy, but it was a thick pack that I was just checking through. I grabbed a few boxes of cards that I never sorted out to see if there was any neat looking cards in them really quick. Unfortunately, they're probably all shoved back into the bag, so that would mean I'd have to, like, reopen every single one of these packs. Oh, no, I took them out of the packages? Thank God I did something right for myself. Casbralla. Bobby Labonte, that's the 18 card, but that's not quite it. Tony, Denny, Richard Petty, Corey Haim. I'm sorry, I know you can't see anything. I'm just looking for Kyle Busch. Another one of his last wins. I believe that one's from Auto Club as well. Oh no, I want to show this so bad, but it's not Kyle Busch. Or appropriate. And that card has a piece of rubber in it. I'll just have to start actually getting around to streams where I show off some of my NASCAR stuff. I did like all the anime boat card streams, and then I was like, I gotta go through my NASCAR binder or stuff at some point. Ooh, that's a cool card. Definitely a NASCAR driver. Yep, 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 yep. Come on, you gotta be in here somewhere. There he is. The super rare, happy as can be looking Kyle Busch. He was one of the quintessential race car drivers that was like, he wasn't winning, he wasn't happy. You know, so I want to be like, I must have been winning there because he looked pretty happy. I mean, I guess this will be half relevant because this is the guy that was last mentioned to be driving his car this weekend. That was in the post of his hospitalization, so I don't know if they're going to be like, oh shit, we're just not going to bring the 8 car this weekend because, like, oh my god, but he's the one. I feel kind of bad because I saw another post that was talking about how it really sucks that Kyle Busch's career, well, okay, Kurt Busch's career was cut short from a concussion, and so was Kyle Busch's from, you know, and they were talking about how it would be cool if they could put Kurt Busch in a race for RCR this season. And I was like, that would be awesome, but also I did the responses that we're talking about. That would be a hell of an ask. Hey, please drive your brother's car for us, or you want to drive it? Like, I don't know. That's probably an unreasonable thing to ask for, but I don't think there's much else to say. I've probably said enough at this point. I was not expecting to be here for an hour and 15 minutes. I probably feel better as of right now. And I'll send you guys to another stream and be around. I might be around a little bit later because I told my mom I'd go in there and sit with her for a bit, but I don't actually know what I would go into there and do, so I don't know how long I'd go in there. But here's your hourly reminder to be kind, stay positive, tell your friends and family you love them. Anyone that matters to you, remind them that. Give them lots of hugs. Try to enjoy all of the things in life that make you happy. It'd be a real downer to end this stream by saying that, like, enjoy every moment because you never know when it'll be your last, but unfortunately, that's what I got hit with on Twitter. Why do you put so much into every race and enjoy it so much? Or what makes you enjoy winning so much? You never know when it'll be your last. I hope to be back soon and for many more. Wish I could hold the camera perfectly straight for a moment while I use my left hand to scroll chat for a moment. Thank you, Comet, for being here. I love you. Thank you, Maggie, for being here. I love you. Thank you, Duck, for being here. I love you. Thank you, Chris, for being here. I love you too. Thank you, Slayer, for being here. I love you. Thank you, Comet, Duck, for the love, for all the hearts in chat. I hope you have a wonderful night. Thank you, VGM, for the love. I love you too. I hope you all have a wonderful night, an even better day tomorrow. Do your best to stay safe and well. See you soon. Well, mouse is no. I'm sorry about your mouse. I hope it comes back soon.